right, what's going on, everybody? It's been a while, but we're back with the Elton John series. I wanted to get the Doors reviews out of the way before we go back to the long form Elton John, but it's good to have Nick, Jason, and Scott with us once again. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing all right.
Doing good, doing good.
All right. Well, it's been a while since we covered Elton John. I think I was looking through when we last did Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and that was 8 months ago.
8 months.
It's been a while.
It's a longer gap than in between these two albums were released.
Yeah, didn't they come out in the no, Don't Shoot Me and Yellow Brick Road came out the same year.
It's that this album came out early the next year.
Oh, gotcha. But the album we're reviewing tonight is Caribou. So before we go on, we'll begin with the
Background information.
So Caribou was released on June 24th, 1974. And when I was doing some research, this album was recorded in 9 days. So it said this album was recorded quickly in January that year because Elton described that he and the band were under enormous pressure to finish the album so he could immediately embark on a Japanese tour. Well, that's good that he got it done in 9 days because this album ended up doing very well for him. It was a commercial success, certified double platinum in the U.S. It didn't have the best reviews when it came out. The people saw this was a big disappointment, especially in comparison to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But I think time has been kind to this album. I think the album has a better reception today. It does have two of his biggest hits on it, which we'll talk about when we get to it. And there are some people that rank it as among his better albums as of recent years. Fun fact, the album was named after Caribou Ranch. That is a recording studio in Nederland, Colorado. And that's where not all the album, but part of the album was recorded. And the other fun fact, the producer of this album, his name is Gus Dungeon. And he did not care for this album. He called it a piece of crap. So he did not care for this album as much. He claimed the sound is the worst, the songs are nowhere, and the lyrics weren't that good. The singing wasn't all there, the playing wasn't great, and the production is just plain lousy. So he probably reflected, like with some of the negative reviews when this album first came out. So we are, what, 50-ish years or so after the release of this album. What are your guys' thoughts on Caribou? Are you with the critics, or do you think it's underrated?
I think it's criminally underrated.
All right.
I agree with that.
I'm with the fans on this one. This one sold a lot. I mean, it is the album that comes right after Yellow Brick Road, so that probably had to do a lot with it. But when you take a look at this album, this is really just Elton doing what he does best in the 1970s, and that's making catchy songs that are cool, have unique instrumentation. And I think the charm of this album is the fact that it was recorded and released so quickly. Because of that, most of the songs on this album have a very carefree and just fun feel to them. And while that may bring the album down for some, I feel like that's kind of the album's strength, is that it never takes itself too seriously. I mean, take a look at the album cover. Are you supposed to say that this is some great piece of art? Or is it just, a fun album full of fun songs? And not to say there aren't serious songs on here. The last two songs are very serious, but the rest of the album is just fun.
I think I'm going to agree with you guys. I think this is a really good album. Now, if you compare this to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, I can see you setting this album up for disappointment. But if you take away the fact that this album was the follow-up to Elton John's most commercially successful, and for many people, his best album, this album's not that bad. The songs are a load of fun. There are some catchy stuff in here. There's still some good songwriting on this album, and I love the production on a lot of these songs. But you just can't really compare it to other albums. This is just Elton wanting to do a fun record and have a good time. Maybe you can compare this to like Beach Boys today, like with the Beach Boys. That's one where it's like it's not a top tier album, but it's just a fun, chill, carefree album. That's a load of fun. Now there's still some, like Scott said, some serious songs on the album, particularly the last two. But there's still some good stuff on here, and I really enjoyed it. And let's start talking about the track listing. The first song on the album was one of the two hit singles. I think it might have caused a little bit of stir back in the day because of a certain word that was on the title. I'm not going to quote the whole title because of my Christian background. So
The B is back.
the B dot is back.
I'm going to refer to, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to refer to it as the snitch is back.
The snitch is back. Well, you know, a few years ago, they did Hocus Pocus 2, and they did a cover of it called The Witches Are Back.
Oh, boy.
Really?
But that movie was not that good. So, and hot take, I wasn't crazy about the first one either.
Yeah.
Okay. Not gonna say that much, but yeah, the bitch is back. Really catchy song. I didn't know what to expect when I first heard this song. I'm like, bitch is back. I'm like, what is this trying to be like an edgy song or something like that? I didn't know what to expect. It's not one of those big Elton John hit songs. I mean, maybe it was back in the day, but you know, it's not a song that you hear on the radio or anything, you know, on classic rock radio because of its title. You know, you want to hear your DJ saying, now that we played Stairway to Heaven, now we're going to play The Bitch's Back. You know, I don't think
What'd they say?
I don't think that's a good look on radio stations. But wonderful song. It's catchy. I mean, it's fun. I love the energy. It just, you could feel the vibrance of this song. You could tell he's having a lot of fun making this. So, yeah, definitely a highlight.
Yeah. I was just thinking there was actually a popular song in the 90s, I want to say, called I'm a B Word. And it's actually pretty,
I've heard that song.
yeah. I actually kind of enjoyed the song. But it is weird saying that word over and over again in the song. You're like, geez. And same for this, I guess. I probably because of the curse word, I've never been a big fan of this song. It's a weird title. I don't know. But in listening to it today, it's a catchy song. I have to admit, it's almost want to sing to it when I hear it. Intro's really good, like, and it's kind of a really rocking upbeat song. And yeah, it's not a top tier kind of hit song for me for Elton John. It's not one I put on a playlist, but it's not bad. It's actually overall a pretty decent song.
The nerve this man has to release this song as the lead-off single for this album. I mean, confidence. You can tell confidence there because, you know, just coming off of Yellow Brick Road, it's almost like, you know, I can do whatever I want. I can release this song as a single. The guitar riff on this song is amazing. That kind of thing on there. I like the horn section on there as well. The horns were provided by a band called Tower of Power, which I haven't really gotten into, but I know they were kind of a Chicago kind of sounding band back in the 70s. Speaking of Chicago, the Caribou Ranch was actually owned by James William Guercio, who was Chicago's manager and producer. So this is the studio where Chicago recorded a lot of their albums in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. Other things that I really like are the bass playing. Dee Murray is a criminally underrated bass player. and he really shines on this song. The drumming by Nigel Olsson, and there's some percussion in there by a guy named Ray Cooper, who when I saw Elton John live, Nigel Olsson and Ray Cooper are still touring with him, and J.V. Johnstone. Pretty much all of his original members, other than Dee Murray, who's passed away. But other than that, it was all his original band, and it was cool to get to see them all play with him. Ray Cooper was one of the coolest ones to see. He's the percussion guy, because he would always sit in the bongos, and he'd always just go, it was always super fun, and I got to see him do this song live, and it rocked live. So, yeah, it's weird that they use a strong word, especially that many times in the song. But the song is just fun. I don't think he's meant to be hurtful or anything. I think it's really just trying to be Elton John, just saying like, I'm a diva or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with Jason on this one. It's not one I tend to go to because of the weird title, but I'm not gonna lie, the production on this song rocks. The guitar riff is really good. There's a really awesome sax solo in the song. I like a lot of the stuff production wise. Like lyrically, I think this song's really weird. I for the longest time, I'm like, what is he singing in this song? Like, why is he calling himself this? but apparently, looking it up, the song is supposed to be a satire of Elton John's lifestyle. So he's pretty much making fun of himself. So I'm like, probably wouldn't be my method of making fun of myself, but but I guess we all have our own way of doing things. I think the song, it's not my favorite. I would say it's my second to least favorite song on the album, but I'll give it this. It is catchy. I don't think I'd ever sing to this song though, because of obvious reasons. I always felt like this song could have been in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think this could have been a.
Yeah.
I could see this being a song for Yondu, believe it or not. Like, I was surprised James Gunn didn't go, oh, you know what song would be good for a Guardians of the Galaxy movie? The Bee is Back. But Disney's probably like, no. Maybe in one of his upcoming DC movies, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah. Next song on the album is Pinky.
Pinky. I mean, this is a nice song to follow up the last one. A lot of energy, a lot of, power. This is one of his more ballady type songs, which I've always really quite enjoyed. I mean, Elton John always has done, a lot of great slower songs, and this is a great way to follow up the last one.
I agree. I thought this was a really great song and a really good discovery on the album. It's not a big hit, but it's definitely one of my favorite. It's kind of got this piano ballad, feel to it. I absolutely love when Elton John does that. And yeah, it's really beautiful song, great melody. Love his voice on this one. So yeah, really good one.
I thought this is a good song, kind of an underrated song. A lot of the ones on here are underrated, but this is a more chill song. Lots of more good percussion from Ray Cooper, the conga drums on there. Kind of just elicits memories of being on a picnic on the 4th of July and just, being carefree. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I really like this one too. It's a good little acoustic ballad. I think it's one of the outliers on that album because of that, because this is probably the most stripped back song on the album in that regard. But I did really like this one. Good vocals on there. I did like the guitar work, the simplicity of the song. I thought it was a good counterbalance after the last song. And now we go to our next song, which is Grimsby. I think is how you pronounce that.
This is an interesting song because it's kind of like a rocker kind of song. It's an interesting song. Not one of my favorite Elton John songs. It's not a song that'll go after, but it's pretty good. It's a song that I enjoy, while it's on. But it's not a song that you'll ever see me like reach for when I'm listening to a record.
Yeah, just looking at the titles, the title a bit strange. Now look at them. Grimsby. What is Grimsby? What is Pinky? What is a lot of this stuff? It doesn't really jump at you, but I really like this song. I thought it was a really catchy, upbeat song. Very catchy chorus. Maybe one of the most catchy choruses on the album. When I was listening to it a second time today, I was really definitely enjoying the song even more the more times I'm listening to it, and it's just it really gets into your head, and you're just like, it's really good, upbeat, and I really enjoyed it.
I thought the song was just okay. There is a catchiness to the song.
Okay.
It's not really one that stood out compared to my favorite songs on the album. I guess I would say this might be the Before They Made Me Run of this album. That's like the one joke we're not going to get rid of anytime soon. If you've been following the Rolling Stones videos on Nick's channel. But I thought this song was okay.
And to Scott.
You skipped right over me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. I'm so sorry about that.
Which is sad because I actually like this song. This song and this album remind me of whenever I was first listening to this album when I was doing my original Elton John deep dive back in 2020, either 2021 or 2022, I forget. But man, I actually really like this one. I like how the drums to Pinky just kind of go psst, and it goes. I like the guitars on there. The chorus is an earworm. Grimsby, oh, England is fair, but it can't compare with Grimsby. What's funny is that Grimsby is the name of a town in England that apparently is old and run down. And so the humor in this song is that Elton John is singing like a nostalgic song for a town that's old and run down. That's kind of supposed to be the joke there, but I'm not British, so I had to look that up. I didn't get it until I looked it up, and it's like, oh, it's British humor. But he talks about like going to the fair and getting candy floss and all this like the stuff that you do there. But apparently the town is old and run down and isn't a very safe place to go. I actually think this is one of the biggest earworms on the album.
All right, well, I accidentally shared my thoughts and forgot about Scott. My apologies there. We'll get back to the regular order.
All apologies, just like Nick's t-shirt there.
All right, our next song on the album. I'm curious what we all think of this one. That is Dixie Lily.
I don't know how you guys will take this song, but I have it like it sounds kind of like it has like a country feel to it a little bit. It's not like straight up country like George Strait or Johnny Cash, but it's like if you took Elton John. This is what the Tumbleweed Connection album, what people describe how that album sounds like, in my opinion. And I think this is better than anything on that album. It's fun. It's fast paced. I'm not sure how you guys are going to feel about it, but this is kind of a highlight for me. I really enjoy this song. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I wasn't as into this song. Yeah, definitely it was country. I mean, Dixie Lily, Dixie is a country sounding name anyways. But yeah, I don't know. The first three songs, really good stuff. I thought this is where it was like, it's one of my least favorite on the album. And maybe I just need to give it more listens, but I don't know. I'm not usually into the country style most of the time, so that's why I turned it off probably.
Elton John doing a country sounding song. I don't think I would have ever expected that, but it actually works surprisingly well. It's kind of got a little more of a fast-paced nature to it, and it's kind of meant to elicit like a picture of a riverboat going down like the river in the South. And I think it's a pretty good song. It's not one of my favorites, but I actually don't think there's any bad songs on this album. There are some that are better than others, but this one's pretty good.
All right, Dixie Lily. I would say this might be the countryest song I've ever heard Elton John do, and that's saying something because Tumbleweed Connection is often described as Elton John's country album, but aside from Country Comfort, that album to me was more like Elton John doing a rock album with Western influences. It was more of a rock album to me. This is what I thought Tumbleweed Connection was going to be when I thought it was going in, and I think this is better than the majority of the songs on Tumbleweed Connection. I like the Tumbleweed Connection album. Don't get me wrong. This is one of the best. I think my picks for one of the best discoveries on this whole album. I love the country vibe. I love the driving force of this song. The chorus is such an earworm with him and the backing vocalist. This is probably my vote for the funnest song on the whole album, and I loved every minute of it.
If we're gonna compare this to the Tumbleweed Connection album, I'd probably say it's better than everything other than Come Down in Time and Burn Down the Mission. But other than that, I like it better than all the other songs on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, I also really like Country Comfort and Son of Your Father and Ballad of a Well-Known Gun.
Those are good ones, too.
Yeah. Next up is... This is another one where I'm curious what all our thoughts are going to be on this song. It's called Solar Prestige Gammon.
Solar Prestige Gammon.
Based on the way he sang it, I think it's French.
It's nonsense.
That's my.
Oh.
I don't know how to feel about this song because it's a little stupid, it's a little goofy, but I can't help but love this song. It's so goofy, it's so dumb, but I can't dislike it. It's a fun song. I mean, most of this album is just fun. It's just Elton John having a good time. I never got how the critics would I mean, I get it. This is after Yellow Brick Road, but you don't be a little too stuck up there, critics. But I love this song. It's another song that I'm like, this is fun. I love this. I'm having a fun time listening to this, just like the other songs on the album.
Yeah, immediately I was like, oh no, what do we got here? Because my feeling was it started off almost sound like an opera or something. It was weird. The beginning part, I don't know if that's the right description, but I remember going, what is it? Like, yeah, he's like singing French or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like when Elton John experiments, that's my least favorite stuff sometimes. And I think, oh no, this is another like weird experimentation or something. But I do like the chorus. The chorus actually I thought was good. And as the song went on, I was enjoying the song more. It is a weird song to me, so I'm kind of on the middle of it where I'm like, I don't hate it, but it wasn't definitely probably towards the bottom for me.
I love this. This made me laugh the first time I heard it, and I laugh every time I hear it. It's stupid, and it's not supposed to be serious at all. It's all nonsense. None of it means anything. This isn't even actual language. Some of it's just English words that he's pronouncing with an accent. What? Hairy molasses abounding? That's nonsense. That's not that means hairy molasses abounding. But it's so funny, especially whenever you get to the chorus when it goes like Sola prestige agamon kuka kire kesara, whatever he says. And the piano has all these like jazzy major 7 chords in it, and it's just like it's chill. There's some vibraphones in there. The production on there is really good and really kind of has that, again, like that chill vibe. I love it because it's just a vibe and it's a funny vibe. It's just Elton and the band chilling in the studio having fun, and I can only imagine what Bernie Taupin was feeling whenever he turned these lyrics into him. He's probably like, "Hey, Elton, would you mind writing a song with these lyrics here?" And Elton takes a look. Oh, I can only imagine that.
what was this song? That's all I gotta ask. Yeah, the verses I thought were really odd because it sounded like Elton John singing in an opera style. And I thought that was a little off-putting. And then I will say the chorus is kind of catchy, but at the same time, I was like, the 2 times I've listened to this song, I didn't care for it either way, which is weird because normally I'm a fan of Stupid. If you saw our review of Full Circle by The Doors, some of the dumbest songs on that album I thought were so bad it's hilarious.
The mosquito.
Like there's one about the mosquito and the Peking King, and this is on their last album. But this one, I was just kind of numb to this song. I didn't really care for it. The piano work's good. That's to be expected from Elton John, but this is my least favorite song on the album. All right, now we go to the second half of the album, starting off with You're So Static.
I think the next one is the one that starts the second side.
Yeah, I was just saying the first. I was doing halves, but yeah, You're So Static is actually the last song on side 1. Apologies for the confusion.
Yeah. I like the song. It's one of my least favorites on the album, though. However, it's still good, though. I still get enjoyment out of it, but this kind of like Grimsey, I don't go back to on the album. It's good. I like it, but I don't know, just a little longer too, like 5 minutes long. So that kind of puts into effect on it, but it's good, but it's never been one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, when I first was listening to the song today, I didn't think much of it. It wasn't like a song that really stood out to me as much. But then the second listen, I actually find myself really liking the song. It's very upbeat, and what really hooks me in is the horns. I thought the horns was the best part of the song, and maybe the best use of horns on the whole album that I can remember. And that kind of got me in that second listen going, oh, man, I'm really liking these horns and everything. And it's not the most catchiest song or anything like that, but yet, same time, it wasn't bad. I found myself going from not liking it too much to going, yeah, I really like the song.
This one probably has the most rocking sound to it, but I do feel it's kind of on the lower end of songs on this album. It's still fun. I like the horns, but as far as the songs go, it's near the bottom for me.
I really like this song. I thought the song had a really good vibe to it. The horns on this song are definitely what makes it stand out, mixed with the piano work. I thought the chorus was really good too. I thought this was one of the better tracks on the album. In fact, I'd say it's made my top 5. But now we flip the record over to side 2. And the first song on side 2 is I've Seen the Saucers. These titles.
This song is epic. This song is really epic. This is like an amazing way to start off the second side. It's one of his ballads. Well, I can tell from Jason's face he's gonna tear this song into a new one. I could tell. Oh, I don't know why. I just had that look. He's like, oh, he likes his song. I feel so bad for him because I'm gonna give this a horrible review. I'm sorry. I don't know why I got that vibe. I love this song. I mean, it's underrated. It's really, really underrated. This is a song that, you don't hear it on his greatest hits albums. It's really, I don't know why. I've always really enjoyed this song. This is great.
Is this song about like aliens or my
Yeah.
I think I got alien vibes. That's probably another reason why I like it so much.
Yeah, it's about alien abduction.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Sometimes I don't listen to lyrics real closely. I kind of hear stuff here and there, and then I think, what's going on here? No, I tell you what, I wasn't like super crazy about the song when I first heard it, and then on second listen, I really liked the song. I think I don't know, just a really good melody overall that I was like really into, and the chorus I thought was really good as well. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but I don't know. On a second listen, I kind of find this song being one of my favorite on the album. So I wasn't expecting that on the first listen, but yeah.
Right there with you. This song is amazing. I've always loved it. I like the beginning with that piano that has the weird chords that bow, 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 bow. Kind of an odd intro. And then the verse melody is very weird, but in the best possible way. Like the ba ba da 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 no 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 no. It's like that note is almost not in the key, but like it like wants to resolve to the next note, which makes it really cool. The chorus is awesome as well, and once again, Ray Cooper on the conga drums. But the chorus, the I wouldn't fool you, but I seen the saucers. Do, 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 do. You know, that part is really cool. It's almost like two choruses, because there's also another chorus where it's like, I've seen them. I can tell you all you want to know. And every time it does that, there's like a synthesizer that goes like, kind of making the alien noises. I was only sleeping, and there's some cool backing vocals there. There's a section where it's like, wouldn't you want to go down, which then it goes to a really weird chord. Just a lot of really interesting stuff going on harmonically in this song. And I'm going to shout out the synthesizers. The synthesizers on this track were played by a man named David Henschel, who would go on to be the producer of Genesis in the mid to late 70s, starting with their Trick of the Tail album Up Through Duke, which I think is really interesting. But yeah, I've always just really loved this song. It's always been one of the biggest hidden gems here on the album.
Yeah, I like this one as well. This one did not quite make my top 5. I think this was a very, very close. I will say that. But I do think it is a fun song. It's another one that's got some pretty good production on it. I don't know why people thought the production on this album was terrible, but there's still some cool stuff on all of these songs musically, and it's no exception here. Another one with a catchy chorus. I don't think this is a top tier best Elton John song of all time or anything, but it's just goofy fun, and I really like that about the song. All right, our next song on the album, the title of this next song probably represents what critics thought of this album. Stinker.
It's rightfully so for this song. I did not care for this song at all. It's boring. It's very boring. Like nine of the 10 of these songs are like either fun or have like this cool feel to it. This song has neither of it. It's just, I'm gonna sound like Jason. It's too long and it's too bluesy. It just like I don't want to hear bluesy from Elton John. It just does not fit him. It gave me that bluesy feel that I just didn't like, and it was boring. And there's 2 songs that we're gonna be talking about after the album's over that I think would have been a lot better in the you know, whether it be Step Into Christmas or Pinball Wizard. Either of those songs, maybe both of them could have been in the album, would have been perfect instead of this song. It's like 5 minutes of nothing, just nothing. This is a whole lot of nothing, you know. So sorry if you're an Elton John fan. This is like your favorite Elton John song, which
I don't think this is anyone's favorite Elton John song.
The Elton John song. How dare you trash Stinker? Stinker is my favorite song of all time. Oh, I can't believe that. You piece of crap. You gotta love Stinker.
Anyways, yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Just remind me, I put this Facebook post today that I reviewed a movie on Letterboxd, and someone told me I was film illiterate. I was like, what?
What a
I-
jerk.
I can see someone going, "You're music illiterate" or something like that, and I go, I guess we just all have different opinions. You don't understand the masterpiece of Stinker, you know. Like, oh God. We don't all love everything. Yeah, Stinker it's a bad title because if it's not good, it makes it worse. And I agree with Nick. I thought this was the worst song on the album. And yeah, it was very forgettable. I had to listen a couple times to even remember what I was listening to, because I'd go on to the next song, and then I forget the Stinker song, and I go, "Wait a minute, what was that Stinker song?" I have to go back and listen to it again because I forgot what that song was. And there's something about his vocal delivery I didn't like as much on this song, and yeah, the overall style, it just wasn't that good to me. Yeah, it was definitely my least favorite.
Well, we're going to have to start using the masterpiece of Stinker every time we get to a pretentious song that we think people would.
Yeah, pretentious.
I'm going to start using that when we get to a pretentious song. You don't understand the masterpiece of Stinker. Because that just sounds ridiculous. Yeah, this is the biggest stinker on the album. I said there were no bad songs, but this is about as close as you can get to a bad song here on this album. It's an okay song. And when we're talking about Elton John right in the middle of his prime run, okay songs are not good songs. If you're talking about Elton John's prime albums here. I like the horns, I'll say that, and I like the bass at the beginning played by Dee Murray. But every time I hear that bass at the beginning, I just want to hear Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin' by Journey because it reminds me of that. And then instead we get Stinker, which I don't want to hear. Especially the chorus is awful. You better believe that. I don't know what Bernie Taupin was thinking when he wrote this, but you better believe I'm a stinker. Watch me as I something my stink. You better believe as I'm a stinker. Watch what your hound dogs think. I'm like, that's awful. That's some of Bernie's worst lyrics. Right up there with I'm Your Robot. We haven't talked about that song yet, but I'm Your Robot is probably another one of his worst lyrics. We'll get to that one later. That one's embarrassingly bad, but this is another one of his worst lyrics. That's like something like burning, stink. I forget what it's forgettable. The only memorable part is like, I'm a stinker. Watch what your hound dogs think. Like, that's awful. That's just terrible. Yeah. Again, this is not Elton's worst song. It's far from it. But once again, when you're putting it up against his best stuff, it lies like a sore thumb.
This song's in my top 5.
Oh,
It's not my favorite song on the album. It made my top 5. I actually really like this song.
Okay. You don't understand the masterpiece of Stinker, Jason.
don't understand the.
No, I actually really like the bluesy style production on this song. It's very different compared to the rest of the album. Kind of like Pinky was different at being more acoustic, but I actually really like that about the song. There's some killer piano playing on this song. I like the way Elton was kind of belting it vocally, even with some of the stupidity of the lyrics that Scott was talking about. But again, we've been talking this whole time. You know, this is meant to be the fun, lighthearted Elton John album for a good majority of this album, and I think this song is the Caribou album to a T. So I actually don't mind this song. I actually really dug it. Now we go to the second big hit on the album. This is probably the biggest hit on the whole album. This is probably one of his most celebrated songs. So much so that when it was re-released 2 decades later as a duet with George Michael, and was an even bigger hit when it was a duet. So this was a big song for him. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
Well, I could say this is not a stinker. This song's awesome. This is one of my favorite songs on the album, respectfully. I mean, you're probably thinking, why isn't this the album closer? Well, we'll talk about the album closer pretty shortly, but I mean, this has like an epic feel to it, both of these last songs have an epic feel to it, but I'll talk about that more when we get to the next song. But man, if anything, I thought that this should have been the biggest hit on the album. I think it is the biggest hit on the album. I don't think the first song is a big hit as big as this one, because I feel like I heard this one a lot more than the first song. But yeah, I mean, this has always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is the big song on the album that I definitely, I love this song. Definitely the song I knew the most. The Bee is Back, and this is probably what I really knew coming up to this album, and everything else was like deep cuts. But yeah, this is definitely on my Elton John playlist. I mean, his voice is so great when he does that, and I love that chorus. The "Don't let the sun go down on me." Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's just beautiful melody, piano. It's S tier, John.
This song is amazing. This is one of Elton John's best songs. In fact, I think at one point it was my favorite Elton John song. What my favorite Elton John song is now, I don't know if I could tell you. There's too many good ones, but this is definitely up there. Starting off with that awesome piano. Boom, 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 dun, 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 dun. And then I love whenever it does that little bass run at the bottom, like, right into the song. I can't lie, boom, boom, no more of your darkness. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of just him and the piano there for a while, which is really amazing. And then you get into that chorus that's just so powerful. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I searched myself, it's always someone else I see. And I love what the piano does under that, because it's just like bow, 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 bow. Just kind of taking the chord and just moving it up. And then at the end, whenever the orchestra comes in, especially that closing, that's like the down, 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 down. Fun fact, you want to know who the backing vocals are on this song? Bruce Johnston and Carl Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Okay.
So that don't let the sun and the that's them. Fun fact, it's not the first time we've had a guest vocalist. Oddly enough, Dusty Springfield did the backing vocals on The Bee Is Back in the beginning of this album, which I thought was funny.
Wow.
But yeah, epic song.
Yeah. I actually did see that the two Beach Boys did backing vocals on "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." Also, according to the Wikipedia page, it said Brian Wilson also was involved, but he was uncredited.
Mm.
So that's kind of cool. There's 3 Beach Boys involved on an Elton John song. But yeah, I love this song. I've always been a fan of this song since I first heard it. One of Elton John's best ballads. I love the way it builds with the piano intro. And then it's more soft when he starts singing it. And then it builds to that great chorus. And then he belts it at the end. It's easily one of the most go-to sing-along Elton John songs for me. And this is one of the best songs on the album. Easily in my top 3. All right, we get to the album closer. I do feel like "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" could have been a good album closer, but there's an even longer album closer, which I think kind of has a run for its money as well. I'm curious what we all think of this one. Ticking.
This song is epic. This is an epic album closer. I mean, when you hear the last song, you're like thinking, wow, how do they not end on this song? Well, Elton John immediately answers with that. He's like, this is my epic album closer. And how is this not an iconic Elton John song? I mean, come on. This song is epic. I mean, this gives me Yellow Brick Road vibes. Kind of like the first song on the last album. It's epic. I mean, this song is amazing. I wish more. I wish this was more played more. I wish this was more known. This is a criminally underrated Elton John song.
Yeah, this was a great discovery, great closer to the album. It's one of the longer songs I want to say maybe on the album.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, 7 minutes. But it goes by. It doesn't feel like that long of a song. It plays so well. And it's another kind of what I call like along the maybe piano ballads I really love on this album, along with like Pinky and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. What really gets you in the song, I think, is like it's telling a story. You can kind of, and I didn't pay attention to exactly what was going on, but I could tell as I was listening to it that there was like a story being told, and I absolutely love that when you feel like you're hearing a story in the song. And I need to listen to this more so I can really get into the story aspect of the song. But even besides that, it's just a really nice, beautiful song. And like I said, I love, when you end an album kind of on an epic feeling, and that's what this does. It leaves you on an epic feeling, which is a great way to end the album.
So, you know how on the album Help, where you have Yesterday and you're like perfect album closer, and then Dizzy Miss Lizzy comes after that and you're like, what were they thinking? Well, imagine that, but on this album you have Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, like perfect album closer, and you hear this and you say instead, nope, I was wrong. This works even better as the album closer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm going to preface this by saying this is a very dark song. It delves into some deep subject matter, but I feel that's why it works so well as the closer, because we've had all these goofy fun songs up to this point, and then this song ends things on a more serious note. It's talking about a character study into the psychology of a shooter who goes in and shoots up a diner. That's what this song is about. And it's a very heavy subject, but I think what Elton John was trying to do with this song, or Bernie Taupin, who wrote the lyrics, is kind of show how sometimes our actions, especially a parent's actions towards their children, can affect their upbringing, and B, try to somehow create some kind of a human connection with people who do terrible things and realize that even though they're awful people, sometimes they have a messed up past and they're still human at the end of the day. And so the song starts out about how when he was young and he seemed like he was just a quiet kid is what they labeled him in school. His parents neglected him, were mean to him. And apparently like it says something about like even like he saw the priest and the priest even neglected him. And then it talks about like the psychology of him. Like people said he was crazy. Then he goes into a diner and he basically does it just to feel something, and that's awful. But the way that Elton John paints the picture of the story and goes into great detail about the transformation of this young child into something awful. The line he keeps repeating is "Remember, Mama said." So kind of talking about like how, Mom said not to do that, but his mother was not a good mother. So it's a very dark song, very serious, but I feel like it's like the perfect end to this album, especially with the way that he musically tells the story. The piano, of course, it's Elton John. The piano has a lot of great moments on here as well, and it's kind of just a tonal whiplash, but in the best way possible.
So we had a bunch of goofy songs on this album, and yet you close the album not just one, but two epic bangers after another. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, and then you got Ticking, which, to be honest, when I first heard this song, this was months ago before we did this review, I got goosebumps listening to this song. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know Elton could do a song with this intense subject matter and still have me gripped. Because the storytelling in this song, it's probably one of the darkest songs I think Elton's ever done. Probably up there with All the Girls Love Alice from the last album. As this song, as Scott already mentioned, dealing with the mental health and the psychology of this troubled young boy who ends up being a serial killer. But the storytelling I thought was gripping. I love the way Elton told the story. The backing vocals that sing along with him throughout the song, I thought was powerfully done. The piano work was great, and even with the longer runtime, I was never bored by this song. I was just on the edge of my seat because I was curious how the song was going to go out. Then ending on that drawn out synthesizer, I thought was the perfect way to close out this album because I was just sitting there like, wow, amazing song. All right, so that was the album. We actually got 2 bonus songs that we'll be talking about. They didn't end up on the album, but they were released as singles around the time that the Caribou album came out. The first song is actually a cover. This is a song originally recorded by The Who from their Tommy album. Elton John covered this song. They turned Tommy into a movie, and Elton John covered the song for that movie soundtrack. And he did Pinball Wizard, which was a hit song for him as well.
Okay, so I'm a big Who fan. I love the Who. Now for a huge hot take. This is the biggest hot take you'll hear all night. I like this version better than the Who version.
Oh,
I have a reason though. I love the Who version. And it's not because they play it on the radio line. It has nothing to do with that. That freaking scene in Tommy where he's wearing the big freaking boots. That alone, whenever I listen to this version, I think of him with the big boots, just doing the little dance. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't care. You'd probably be like, that's the reason? Yes, that's the reason. That sounds stupid, but this is a fun version of the song. Why did Stinker have to be on this album? This could have fit right in between it.
that'd been great.
That would have been awesome. This would have been my favorite Elton John album if that was the case, but I digress. It is what it is. But man, I love this version. This is a fun version of the song. I do prefer it over the Who version, but if you ask me, like, does this version should this be the definitive version that should be played on radio? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if I were to listen to a version on my own, this is usually the version I go to.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of my favorite Who songs. It's like top 5, like Who song. This is so interesting because it's quite a bit different, the arrangement. Because the Who, they start with this, very fast-paced acoustic guitar, that Townsend does, the dun 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 dun, whatever, and then it's such a cool intro. This was different. We didn't have the acoustic guitar or whatever. It had something else, but it sounded great. Like I thought the arrangement was really cool. It was kind of different, but still great, and that's good for a cover. A cover, you don't want it to sound exactly like the original. You want to make it your own. I thought Elton John made it his own, and yeah, I'm kind of with Nick. I don't know if I'd say this is better than the original, but it's darn good. It's not bad. I mean, I can't say which one's better. They're both really good.
This is how you do a cover right here. This is how you do a cover in the fact that you can find little traces of the original song, but at the same time, and there's enough of the original song, but Elton makes it his own. And that's what I really like about the cover of this song. I'm going to be on the side of saying I like the Who version better. Maybe that's just because I've heard it more, but I like the guitar on the Who version, the acoustic guitar at the beginning, like boom, dun 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 dun, and like there's still some of that, like you can hear the dun 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 dun, but it's way far back in the mix because the piano is up front on this one. Instead, there's like a choir or something singing in the background, and then you can hear the guitar doing that, but the piano is louder. And it's going, and of course this is Elton John, so of course the piano's got to be up front.
Right.
You still hear that, but I will say the drumming on this one. Nigel Olsson is a great drummer, but you're comparing it to Keith Moon, so I think that for that reason the drumming falls a little short, only because Keith Moon. But even though I like the Who's version better, there are some aspects that I do really like about this one. Like, there's a guitar solo on here. There's not a guitar solo on the Who version. There's a pretty awesome guitar solo from Davy Johnstone on here. There's like 2 or 3 key changes, and Elton even adds a few lyrics of his own onto this version and some different sections. Most notably, I think whenever he goes like the do 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 do, like the in the original, it has I thought it was the Ballet Table King, but I just handed my pinball crown to him, and that's kind of the end. But then he goes like, hand it to him, and there's a key change there. And then at the end, they throw in a little tribute to I Can't Explain. It goes like bow, down out, down, down out, and they kind of just do a little jam off of that. It's a lot longer than the Who's version, so and kind of goes more places. So those aspects I actually like about the song. I would say it's almost as good as the original, which that's always good. If you can make a cover that's almost as good as the original, I'd say you're doing pretty good. I still love this version. I just like the other one a little bit more, but Elton John definitely made this his own. And what Nick was talking about, I've not seen the movie because I like the album, and from what a few clips, other than this scene is awesome, but the other few clips I've seen, I'm like, I do not want to see this movie. It's going to ruin my perception of the album. But this scene is awesome, where Elton John has like the huge boots and it's like doing a performance. So yeah.
So I think I'm probably the only one who's actually seen Tommy the movie. I liked it for what it was. Jack Nicholson is a terrible singer, though.
And he sings my favorite song on the album. That's what really makes me upset.
But the pinball wizard scene is probably the best scene in the whole movie. I do think of that image with Elton John in the oversized boots playing the pinball. But yeah, my introduction to this song was actually the Elton John version. So I have more of a soft spot to his version than the Who's version. I do like the Who's version. The guitar work on the song is great, and I do enjoy listening to their version of the song. But I'm actually in agreement with Nick. I actually do prefer Elton's version of the song. I think the main reason is Elton's version is energetic the whole way through. I feel like with the Who's version, it starts out that way, and then when you get to the chorus, I feel like it kind of stalls a little bit, because I think he sings it a little slower than when Elton John sings. It's like, he's a pinball wizard, gotta be a twist. And Elton's like, he's a pinball wizard, gotta be a twist. I'm like, yeah, this is I think a more rocking out version of the song. And I think there's a lot more energy to it. So that's why I think I've gravitated more toward the Elton John version. I think him doing the piano on the riff, I think, is a really cool way to open the song. And I like how it's a well done cover of the Who song, and I love that it pays homage to the Who song, but it still has the Elton John isms where it's like he's covering the Who, and you can tell it's still their song, but he puts his own flavor into it and makes it a great song all its own. And this should have been on the album. You should have taken the Solar Prestige out, the one I didn't like. And if this was on there instead, I think it would be, an even better album than it already is. And now we go to our second and last bonus track. And this is one I think that they play this one all the time, especially during the Christmas season. I hear this all the time on Christmas radio. Step into Christmas.
I've never heard this song at all before listening to
Wow.
this. I don't know why. I mean, where I live, they play the same version. They play the same songs, but like from different artists. Like I hear like 5 different versions of "Here Comes Santa Claus," 6 versions of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And let's not forget Mariah Carey too. That's the one they play all.
I want to think about that song. Song makes me sick. Sorry, Jacob. This song is awesome. I wish the song was on Christmas radio instead of a certain song by a certain artist that I can't stand. It's nice. It's a nice song. Yeah, you can feel the energy of the album on this song. Again, this would have been a lot better than the stinker that's on this album. Quite literally, the stinker that's on the album. Make it easy. I don't know. It's really good, and I wish I heard it on the radio. Never heard the song before.
Yeah, I love Christmas music, and I love Christmas music that some people don't even like. I feel like I love Paul McCartney's Christmas song. I love that song so much.
I've seen that on so many people's worst Christmas songs. I'm like,
People hate
I
it.
like that song.
That song. It's one of my favorite. This is up there. This is a really good pop Christmas song, pop art, whatever. It's super catchy. It's got the Christmas feel to it. I love it.
I'm surprised Nick's never heard this. I've heard this on the radio every Christmas. Yeah, and I actually have heard it before I knew it was Elton John. When I found it was Elton John, I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's Elton John's Christmas song. I like the guitar at the beginning, that acoustic guitar riff. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
and then it comes in with the piano.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I'd like to thank you for the year. Up aboard the turntable. Oh, step into Christmas with me. Step into Christmas, step in together, we can watch the snow. Yeah, just the fact that it's that catchy. You remember that? The admission's free. And then it has a sound effect that I can only describe as Galaga. I mean, this came out before that, but every time I heard that song on the radio, I'd be like, why are they putting the Galaga sound into an Elton John song?
It's like,
Like that. But it's a fun song. It's a good Christmas song, and it's on my personal Christmas playlist.
all right. Again, that's like Scott. I'm shocked, Nick, that you never heard this song before, because I've heard this song since I was a kid. They played this on the radio around Christmas time all the time, and that was before I ever got into Elton John. So I guess this was one of my gateways in a lot of regards. But this is one of my favorite Christmas songs. Period. I'll make it one step further. If this song was on the Caribou album, it'd be my favorite song on the album. It's that good.
It's good.
I'm serious. I love this song. The guitar intro.
Okay.
I love that all the time when I listen to the song. I mean, of course, he kills it on the piano once again. I think it's just a warm, inviting, catchy Christmas song. Just Elton having fun, doing his own stamp on a Christmas pop song. I think it's 10 times better than Mariah Carey's song, and I love the Mariah Carey song, even though they play it all the time. I think it's just a great song all around. I love Christmas music, and Elton John, he doesn't do much Christmas music. I'm surprised he didn't do a full-blown Christmas album, because the two Christmas songs he's done, this one and then a song he did a couple of years ago with Ed Sheeran. I love both of them. So, all right.
I wish the Beatles would have had a Christmas album. That's what I hate.
No, that's like one of the biggest things. Like, I think the only one. John Lennon did that one song. Paul McCartney did that one song. Ringo did a whole album called "I Want to Be Santa Claus."
He did a Christmas album.
He did a Christmas album in the late '90s called "I Want to Be Santa Claus."
It was a very mediocre album. I heard it.
His version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer slaps, though.
Oh boy!
All right. Well, what are you guys' top 5 songs on the album?
Okay, my number 5 is gonna be Pinky. My number 4 is gonna be The Bitch Is Back. My number 3 is gonna be Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Number 2, I've Seen the Saucers, and my favorite song on the album, Ticking.
All right. Number 5 for me is I've Seen the Saucer. Number 4, Grimsby. Number 3, Pinky. Man, all these one-word titles. Number 2, Ticking. And then number 1, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
Strong honorable mention to Grimsby. Number 5, I'm probably going to be the only person who has this in my top 5. Solar Prestige Également.
You're the only one.
Stupid. I'm the one who likes it out of the most of everyone. It's fun. All right. Every time I hear it, I laugh. It just makes me laugh. I like songs that can make me laugh. Number 4. The Snitch is back. Number 3, I've Seen the Saucers. Number 2, Ticking. And number 1 has got to be Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Pinky and I've Seen the Saucers are my honorable mentions. Number 5, Stinker.
You don't understand the masterpiece of Stinker.
I told you
You need to listen to it more.
But I'm not that snobby guy. I get your frustration with the song. Number 4, You're So Static. Number 3, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
All right.
Number 2, Ticking.
Okay.
And my number 1, I think I'm the one that enjoyed it the most, Dixie Lily.
I say it's Dixie
The
Lily.
country
It's my
song.
favorite song on the album.
I enjoyed it. It was barely not in my top 5. It was like number 6.
Wow. So me and Scott only had the Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me number 1. Then you two had different ones. So
Yeah. Now, if the Christmas song was on the album, that would have been my number 1.
I don't know if it'd be number 2. It'd be in there though.
What if Elton John put Ticking as the second to last song and Step Into Christmas as the last one?
That would be a total whiplash. A song about a mass shooter. Step into Christmas, don't get up. Okay, so what are we going to score this album?
I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. There's a song that I'm like, it's good, but not a song that I'll go back to. And Stinker, rightfully so. It's a terrible song. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me. Barely is. Barely isn't, but still really great album. Doesn't deserve the hate it gets personally.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was another really good album by Elton John. I feel like all these albums have been 9s and then 9.5 for Yellow Brick Road, or Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But everything else has been just 9s. And this one too, this one grew on me. Actually, at first it wasn't a 9, but listening it over again, it kind of jumped up to a 9 for me because I was like, you know what? I mean, you got one of his best songs on here, and most everything it was really pretty good. And Ticking was, what a great discovery along with Pinky.
I've always had a soft spot for this album. I'm going to give it a 9. It makes me very nostalgic for whenever I was going through his albums the first time. Most of this album is just fun, and there's some really underrated songs on here as well. I can get the disappointment of this coming right after Yellow Brick Road, but for an album that was pretty much just thrown together, it's good for what it's really good for what it is.
All right, I guess I'm going to join you on the 9 train. I really enjoyed this album as well. Not as good as Yellow Brick Road, but I still enjoyed the album for what it was. There's still some great stuff on here. I guess I can kind of see why people would think it's a disappointing album, but again, it's all a matter of expectations. And I think if you look at it, it's not designed to be like Goodbye Yellow Brick Road or even his self-titled album, which is still my personal favorite Elton John album. I think it's really good for what it is. And right now, of the 8 albums we covered so far, it's still in my top 5 Elton John albums. So I'm curious if it'll stay on the top 5 with so many other albums, but it's still pretty good. And the average, since most of us gave it the 9, it's a 9 out of 10. So it's one of the higher scored albums that we've covered in the series.
I think this is my least favorite album cover, though. I just can't stand the album.
I like the album. I like the album cover.
I don't know why. I always thought that too. I'm like, he looks like a dweeb.
It looks so stupid.
It's a dorky album cover, but it matches
the tone of the album. That's how I've looked at it.
Fair enough. To me, he looks like someone that gets picked on in school.
Yes.
I remember one time in college, I like invited someone over to my apartment. I'm like, here, look at all my records, and I pulled that one out, and they said, that has the biggest "Hi kids, I'm Elton John" vibe I've ever seen.
I mean, I feel like the majority. The only album cover so far I've not really cared for so far is "Man Across the Water's too basic. Like aside from that, his other album covers are pretty good.
You gotta see it on the record to get it because it's textured and it looks like jeans. Whenever you see it on the record.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the last couple, really good album covers. Yellow Brick Road's great. Don't Shoot Me on the Piano Player. Yeah.
And kind of the whole package with his albums, because a lot of them you open up and there's like a whole booklet of photos that have to do with the lyric and like lyrics. His albums always have a really good total package with them.
Yeah, most of his album covers are pretty good. I think some of his later ones maybe not as much. Like
John, is that just a picture of him, maybe? But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. The picture of Rockin' the Westies, he looks like a drug junkie, which
I think I know why. Because he was.
Because he was. But,
up in the rock with all that white powder. And I ain't talking about snow.
Oh, yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed our review of Caribou. Share your thoughts in the comments down below. What you thought of the album? Are you like us? Disagree with the critics? I forgot to mention. Rolling Stone called Ticking as the centerpiece fiasco. I forgot to mention that, and it's like, what? I think we were listening to 2 different songs.
Yeah, and same freaking magazine that said that the behind I think it's called Behind the Mask for Fleetwood Mac. That's the best lineup that ever happened to them. Same freaking people who said that. Or Queen is a fascist band.
Queen is a fascist band. Yeah.
You can't take anything that article says seriously. You really
well, the funny thing is the critic called it the centerpiece fiasco, and then the readers voted the song as their second favorite deep cut of lesser known Elton John songs. So the critics hate this album, the fans love it. But anyway, share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree? Disagree? We got a lot more Elton John reviews coming up. Next is Captain Fantastic, which I've heard is a great album. So be on the lookout for that one coming real soon. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Not me.
Yeah. Another solid album.
All right. Yes, this is a good one. I don't get the critics on this one. But anyway, hope you all have a good night. See you all in the next one.